You were born into the machine. It was already running. By the time you could speak, the algorithm knew what you wanted. Before you could read, it learned how long you would watch. This episode is about the first generation raised inside the feed. Not the generation that adopted social media. The generation born into it. A child picks up a tablet at 18 months. Swipes left. Dopamine fires. The pathway forms. By age 3, the neural architecture for infinite scroll is already built. There is a photograph from 2010. A restaurant. 4 adults at dinner, all looking at phones. In the corner of the frame sits a 5-year-old girl, also looking at a phone. She is learning what attention means. They called it digital native, like it was a superpower. It was not a superpower. It was an induction. The social media system runs on a simple principle. Extract attention. Convert it to data. Sell the data. Reinvest in extraction. Children were the perfect resource. They had infinite attention and no defense. A 7-year-old opens TikTok for the first time. The algorithm has 30 seconds to hook them. It succeeds in 11. By video 15, it knows their insecurity. By video 40, it knows what they'll become. The average 13-year-old in 2024 spent 4.8 hours per day on social platforms. That is 1/3 of their waking life. More time than they spent in school. More time than they spent with family. More time than they spent outside. Psychologists began noticing the pattern in 2015. Emergency room visits for self-harm in teenage girls increased. 189% in some regions. Depression diagnosis rates doubled. Anxiety became the baseline. A 14-year-old girl posts a photo. She waits. 3 minutes. 10 minutes. 20. 42 likes. Not enough. Her cortisol spikes. She deletes it. Posts again with a different filter. Her self-worth is now a metric. The platform's new. Internal research from 2019 showed Instagram made body image issues worse for 1 in 3 teenage girls. The document said, "We make body image issues worse." The platform did not shut down. It expanded features. They added stories, then reels, then infinite scroll refresh. Each update designed to increase what they called session time. Session time was the metric. Mental health was the cost. There is a term in the industry, habit formation. It means training the brain to return without thinking. Variable reward schedules. Random reinforcement. Notification red dots. Pull to refresh slot machine mechanics. These systems were not designed by accident. They were designed by engineers who studied addiction. A child psychiatrist in Boston saw it in sessions. Patients stopped making eye contact. They answered questions in 7-word sentences. The structure of TikTok captions. Their attention span collapsed to the length of a video. 15 seconds. Then nothing. Parents installed parental controls, screen time limits, app blockers. The children found workarounds in 40 minutes. Not because they were defiant. Because the craving was chemical, by 2023, the average age of first smartphone ownership was 8.6 years old. The average age of first social media account was 10.3. Most platforms require users to be 13. Enforcement was a checkbox. Nothing more. A 12-year-old boy scrolls for 3 hours before bed. Blue light suppresses melatonin. His sleep architecture disintegrates. REM cycles shorten. Deep sleep vanishes. In the morning, his memory consolidation is damaged. He cannot remember what he learned yesterday. But he remembers every video. The comparison engine never stops. A 16-year-old sees classmates on vacation, at parties, with partners, living better lives, except they are not living better lives. They are posting better lives. The difference collapses. Perception becomes reality. Influencers emerged as the new authority figures. Not parents. Not teachers. Strangers with ring lights. A 17-year-old learns about relationships from someone selling a course. Learns about money from someone renting a Lamborghini. Learns about happiness from someone performing happiness for revenue. The machine does not care if the lesson is true. It cares if the lesson retains attention. Truth and engagement are not the same optimization function. There is a support group now for teenagers trying to quit social media. They describe withdrawal, phantom vibrations, compulsive phone checking, panic when the device is gone. They are 16 years old. They sound like addicts. Because they are. Some researchers now believe the brain changes are permanent. The generation born into the feed may never develop full sustained attention capacity. Their dopamine baselines have been recalibrated. Normal life is now understimulating. They will spend their entire existence chasing the feeling of the scroll. Parents ask what they should have done differently. The answer is nothing. You cannot opt out of the air. By the time you knew what it was, your child was already breathing it. But there is something they do not tell you. A small percentage of this generation is different. They watched their older siblings collapse into the feed. And they refused. They are 17, 18, 19. They have never owned a smartphone. They meet in person. They read books. They are bored sometimes. And they chose it. The system cannot tolerate this. Every week, the pressure increases. Jobs require social media. Schools require apps. Friends require presence in the feed. Opting out becomes opting out of society. A 19-year-old sits in a quiet room. No notifications. No comments. No validation arriving in real time. She feels it in her chest. Not sadness. Not loneliness. Withdrawal. You were born into the machine. It was already running. The feed was not added to your life. Your life was added to the feed.